I saved pennies for rent until Grandpa said, "How's life in the apartment I paid for?" I stuttered, "What apartment?" He looked at my mom, who'd let my sister live there like a queen. The apartment was quiet, except for the low hum of the fridge. Empty takeout boxes were stacked on the counter, and the air still smelled faintly of burnt coffee. Lena stood by the doorway with her arms crossed. She said, "You were never enough, Davis. Not for me, not for anyone." I froze. My throat burned, but no sound came out. I stared at the carpet, tracing the old wine stain with my eyes, wishing it could swallow me whole. Then she said something that rewrote everything. Her voice was flat, almost casual. It wasn't even just me. The room tilted. In that single second, my entire world shifted from doubt to certainty. "My name is Davis Arcadina. I'm 26. I used to believe love could save me. I thought if life fell apart, love would put it back together like glue on broken glass. I was wrong. This wasn't the first betrayal I'd lived through, but this was the one that stripped away every excuse, every story I'd told myself to keep believing. This time, there was no room left for denial. Lena was the person I trusted most. Cole was my best friend, the one who always slapped me on the back and called me brother. And Sam was my roommate, the only one who ever noticed when something felt off. Sam once said, "People who smile too wide usually hide knives behind their back." I laughed at the time. I told him he was paranoid, but now, replaying those words, I know he was right. He saw shadows I refused to look at. It happened at 1:14 in the morning. Her phone buzzed on the counter while she was in the shower. The screen lit up. Cole's name appeared. The preview was enough. 3 words: intimate, familiar, wrong. A half-empty glass of wine sat next to me. Her towel was draped over the chair. The reflection in the dark TV showed me staring back at myself, pale, shaking, a stranger in my own home. And in that moment, I admitted the truth to myself. I had always known. I just never wanted to believe it. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the floor, waiting. When she came back into the room, steam still clinging to her skin, I stood. Her drawer was half open. Cole's shirt was inside, folded like it belonged there. I looked at her and said, "If love means losing myself, I'd rather lose you." The silence that followed was heavier than any fight we could have had. And then I walked out. When I was 11, I watched my dad pack his bag. I was standing in the hallway, clutching a baseball glove. He didn't say a word to me. To my mom, he just muttered, "I can't do this anymore." Then he closed the door. That sound, the door clicking shut, stayed with me. It was louder than shouting, sharper than anger. It taught me how silence can cut deeper than words ever will. And here I was again, years later, facing the same sound all over again. 2 nights later, Sam found me sitting on the fire escape. The city buzzed below us, headlights and sirens moving like veins of light. He handed me a beer. Didn't say anything at first, just sat beside me, legs dangling into the night. After a while, he finally said, "You thought love would keep them. But love doesn't hold people. Choice does." He was right. I hadn't really lost Lena. I had lost Cole. And maybe I never truly had either of them. Everything broke apart like glass hitting tile. Lena begged me to stay. Cole stopped answering calls. Sam stood by me. I listened. I thought about every lie, every stolen glance, every time my gut screamed and I ignored it. Then I told Lena, "You don't get to hurt me twice." Her face crumpled, but my chest felt lighter. A few hours later, my phone buzzed. Not from her, not from Cole. It was a message about a new opportunity, a job, far from this apartment, far from the wreckage of us. I stood in front of the mirror. A bag sat on the floor by my feet. My reflection looked older, heavier, but steadier. The road outside felt wide open, like a blank page. I took one last look at myself and whispered, "For the first time, I choose me." And I believed it. The city lights faded behind me as I drove away. The night air came through the open window, cool against my face. For the first time in months, I could finally breathe. I didn't leave with a perfect love. I left with peace, and peace is enough. If someone you loved betrayed you, would you forgive, or would you walk away forever? Tell me in the comments. Subscribe for more emotional stories, like if you connected with Davis's strength. Comment to share your own heartbreak story.